And I want to bring the attention of my colleagues to the situation in Benue State, especially in my senatorial district, so that together we should design a roadmap that will take care of our people, provide security on a permanent basis. Now that we know these people by their names, some are called bandits, some are called terrorists, some are called insurgents, some are called IPOD. So if we know these people, why can't we deal with them? We have their own categorization. Then the approach should also be categorized so that we deal with these situations on their individual basis. With this, my few words, I want to sympathize with all of us. I pray that may God give the Tinubu administration the capacity to ensure that Nigerians sleep in their country with their two eyes closed. Thank you, Mr. Senate President, distinguished colleagues.
Distinguished Senator Zam, you notice that from even the narration of Senator Nengi, this appears to have been very, very well coordinated with local collaborators. The bandits did not come with weapons. The weapons were already deposited in the various villages they attacked. So even if you stop them on the road, they will say they are ordinary Nigerians or they are ordinary citizens just going about their normal businesses. But when they arrive the places that they are targeting, they will now go to where the weapons are. So it also means that there is need for us to improve on intelligence gathering. And definitely the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is new, but this is multifaceted. Senator Plank said it has something to do with ethnicity. In some instances, religious connotation. In some instances, financial and commercial connotation because of mining purposes. And that may account for the idea of wiping out children so that they will not come back to ask for their father's lands. So we won't discuss everything here because there will be need to stop them from occupying those places that they have wiped out the indigenes. In case the intention is for them to take over the land and start their mining activities without let or hindrance. But let me hear from the former governor of Plateau State, who himself is a son of the soil, distinguished Senator Lalong.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, distinguished members of the Senate. My name is Simon Lalong. Again, I represent the good people of Plateau South in Plateau State. It is really unfortunate. Mr. President was almost summarizing everything. Yes, I will not start with Plateau. I will say that it is entirely in the northern states. By virtue of my privilege to be chairman of the Northern Governors Forum for 4 years, when there were similar things all over the country. But with particular reference to Plateau, I heard the report from the military this morning. I will say that I was disappointed. Disappointed how? Because part of it was that why they couldn't deal with the situation in Mangu and Bokos was because of proximity and of course also the terrain. And I asked the question, for a military, for armed forces, there is nothing like terrain. There is nothing like distance. In Plateau State, because of several crises, we have proliferation of outfits. We have the creation of Operation Safe Haven, all funded by the state government. We have the Operation Rainbow, funded by state government. That is increase in the capacity. Of recent, we created the Kerang Rescue, which is an Air Force base with helicopters. The issue of Mangu, many people were killed around Kerang. Where was the Air Force? Where are the helicopters? Today, sir, we discussed about Tucano jets. We are told that Tucano jets are not available. We discussed about drones. The drones are available. My spirit is that we must first of all deal with the criminals, because before we come back to deal with the internal situation. Yes, like every society, we have conflicts. We have religious conflicts and differences. We have ethnic conflicts and differences. But when a dimension like this comes into effect, it calls the attention of Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because the killings that were done in systematic manner. But as we move in, I don't think that the role of the military is always to employ kinetic. We discussed that in Kaduna, and we came to resolution that as much as we go into kinetic, we must also dwell on non-kinetic methods in settling disputes in these various states. And if it was so, it took a long time. This information is not the first. This attack is not the first. Always on Christmas Eve. Always on Christmas Eve. So as we move into this kind of thing, I also want to support, because the bills failed last time. Mr. President, if you give permission, we are bringing it back again. The role of traditional rulers in security. Let us give them constitutional roles. I'm not saying that we must always talk about state police, but we have traditional rulers that can always produce solutions to this kind of problems. We brought a law, and the law failed last time. But I am here. I will still sponsor another law, and with the help of the Senate, let us give some roles to our traditional council on addressing issues of security. As I said, dialogue is very, very important. We created peace building, yes, we created interreligious council. We know the terrain of Plateau State. It may not be like Benue, but in Plateau State, a little skirmishes of traditional or even a family dispute may always move into a religious conclusion. And then you have this dimension of crisis. But however, it is not insurmountable. And with this present Senate and the way Mr. President of the Senate is taking the issue, I agree with Senator Nangi and also with my Senator Diket Plan, that first of all, let us go back to address the issues. Mr. President, those who were displaced in 2021 have not been returned to their places because the land is devastated. The place, there is no way. I kept on hammering that if we created the Northeast Development Commission, we are now about creating the Southeast Development Commission. If you want to address the issues of insecurity in the North Central and part of the North, then we must also go to look at the possibility of creating a North Central Development Commission. That is the only way we can bring back our people. Otherwise, an angry man, a man who is displaced from his place for more than 10 years is always an angry man. So we are talking about giving money today. That money will not even send those who are displaced in 2021. That will not bring those who are displaced in 2001. But there is a lot to be done. But like I said, let us call back the military to order. That is not a reason to say that 100 people and something people will be killed. Because I know that in those settlements there are Operation Safe Haven. They have outfits there that are being funded by government. And this matter is very serious. And on behalf of the good people of Plateau State, once again, I thank the Senate, thank Mr. President and the Senate for looking at this issue and making quick consideration to save the lives of the people of Plateau State. And I so move. Thank you, sir.
I think you have more or less captured everything, being a son of the soil and a former governor. If you think that creation of North Central Development Commission will make them to stop killing one another, then the Senate will look at it, the National Assembly will look at it. But you also have to look at how successful was the creation of the Northeast Development Commission and others. If we keep, there are too many hands up. If we keep debating it, why don't you, let's do it this way. If you have something, use it during the prayers. Amend the prayers so that we can capture, because this will call for a holistic investigation, which we cannot do here. You understand? We can't do it here. So I think we should go into prayers. But if, okay, thank you. Is it the view of the Senate that we go into prayers? Okay, then prayer 1. Observe a minute silence at plenary in honor of the victims. Those who are in support of the prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2. Send a high power delegation of the Senate to Plateau State to condole with the government and the good people of the state, and also visit the victims. Those who are in support of prayer 2 as amended say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3. Urge the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to direct its agencies to provide relief materials, especially building materials, to the victims of the crisis with immediate effect to enable them relocate back to their homes and decongest the IDP camps. Those who are in support of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say your amendment, Senator Izonaso.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Osita Izonaso. I represent Imo West. My simple amendment is that we shouldn't only deal with Ministry of Humanitarian. We should say Ministry of Humanitarian and NEMA, because NEMA also give a lot of relief materials. The two agencies.
Any seconder? Yes, the civil Senator Kingibe.
My name is Senator Ireti Kingibe, and I second the motion because truly, wherever there have been disasters, NEMA has never been properly equipped to handle it. And so there's no point in just one agency be handling it. Humanitarian alone is not enough. You need to add NEMA as well. That I so submit. I haven't even submitted. Can I still get to?
Appropriation, come. So the motion has been amended. The prayer 3 has been amended to include NEMA and humanitarian affairs. Those who are in support of the amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 4. Urge the Inspector General of Police to complete the Mopo barracks situated in Barakin Ladi local government area of Plateau State. Those who are in support of prayer 4 say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 5. Urge the Chief of Defense Staff to establish a mobile police military base, in Generate Village, Mangu, local government area, which is a border point and an entry route for the criminals who commit these barbaric acts and escape freely. Those who are in support of prayer 5 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 6. Urge the Nigerian military to deploy intelligence and area surveillance in the affected local government areas of Plateau State and its environs and decimating. Is there any amendment to prayer 6? Amendment. Yes, Senator Isunaso.
Thank you, Mr. President. My amendment should be that urge Nigerian military to deploy intelligence and area surveillance in the affected local government area of Plateau State and its environs and stop. We don't have to continue by saying and disseminating them completely, no. That's my amendment, Mr. President. Thank you.
Senator Isunaso, your amendment is that urge the Minister of urge the Nigerian military to deploy intelligence and area surveillance in the affected local government areas of Plateau State, and its environs. Full stop. So the other words and decimating them completely, should be eliminated. Distinguished colleagues, did you hear that? Is there any seconder? Yes, Distinguished Senator Binos.
Thank you, Mr. President. Binos Yaro, Adamawa South. I rise to second the amendment as proposed by Distinguished Senator Isunaso. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the prayers 6 says urge the Nigerian military to deploy intelligence and area surveillance in the affected local government areas of Plateau State and its environs. Full stop. Those who are in support of this prayer as amended say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 7. Urge the Minister of Solid Minerals Development to immediately take action in putting a check on illegal miners and mining activities in the country, especially the crisis-prone regions. Those who are in support of prayer 7 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 8. Urge the Plateau State government to strengthen its environmental mining laws to check the excesses of illegal miners in the state. Those who are in support of this prayer say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 9. Urge the Plateau State government to upscale dialogue between traditional and religious leaders, especially in the affected crisis areas, to find non-kinetic solutions towards curbing the crisis. Those who are in support of prayer 9 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 10. Issue such further directives as deemed expedient in the circumstance to ensure compliance with this resolution. Those who are in support of prayer 10 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, Distinguished Senator Oshimole.
Mr. President, sir, my distinguished colleagues, 3 weeks ago we had a conversation that borders on security, and we passed these similar resolutions. On that occasion, I had urged, and I wish with your permission, to add another prayer. But we summoned the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Air Staff and even the National Security Advisor. I think that motion by themselves don't bite. They came here, they assure us they can secure the country, and like every speaker, one speaker after the other, we've all agreed that nothing much is changing. Resolutions will change this situation. We need to bring them back here. I limit myself to Army and Air Force. because I don't think this is a problem of the Navy. I'm not also sure that the police that cannot protect our roads, as a result of which you have soldiers, that putting a barrack there will be enough. I just want to add that to show the seriousness of these hollow chambers, under your leadership, that we summon the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Chief of Air Staff, and the IGP to tell us why we should not hold them responsible for these killings. If somebody spent 3 days in Plateau and he had the kind of information that Senator Ningi shared with us, and every other person, it shows that there was proper planning. You can't carry out that level of planning in secret and it doesn't leak. If civilians are aware, how come that those who are paid to secure are not aware? We need to let them know that we are paid, we are angry with them for failing in their duties. They need to know that each time in Nigeria is wasted, we owe the security agencies responsible. And there must be consequences on their part. Nigeria doesn't owe anybody a job. They owe us a duty to perform the job that they have asked for. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yes, the distinguished Senator Oshomole has added another prayer that we should invite the Chief of Army Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the Chief of Air Staff to brief us on what actually happened in Plateau on that Christmas Eve. I would dare to say, including the DG of SSS, because of the intelligence gathering and the police. So I would like Senator Kawu, please, if you can second that motion, but please list out the list of the service chiefs that must come in a closed session to brief the Senate on these kind of gruesome murders.
Mr. President, my dear honorable colleagues, I am hereby seconded the motion heavily moved by distinguished Senator Adams Ashimole to invite all the service chiefs. Additional prayer or amended prayer to invite all the service chiefs, DGSS, Inspector General of Police, and the NSA National Security Advisor to come and brief the Senate on NIA and NIA, DGNIA, to come and brief the Senate. I so second, Mr. President.
Point of order.
This is Senator Goje, please take your seat. take your seat. But let me, I'll be with you. I'll be with you. I wouldn't off it until you go. Distinguished colleagues, an additional prayer has been proposed and seconded by Senator Kawu that this hollow chamber should invite the security chiefs, namely the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the DGSSS, DGNIA, because of the foreign elements involved, the Inspector General of Police, to meet in a closed session, to meet in a closed session with the Senate with a view to obtaining first-hand information on the Christmas Eve killings in Plateau State, to enable the Senate take further actions that can bring this to a close. Those who are in support of this additional prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank distinguished Senator Dickett Plank for bringing this to the fore, and also thank all those who have contributed to this motion. and to say that, yes, indeed, we have a responsibility to comply with the provisions of our Constitution, which is that the primary role of government is to ensure the protection of lives and properties. This is a very unfortunate, a very barbaric, and a very terrible tragedy for Nigeria that had led to what we may regard as a black Christmas for the country, because the level of killings were unprecedented and the number of villages affected simultaneously were also unprecedented. And it's very clear that these things were very coordinated, and therefore we believe there was failure of intelligence and failure of reaction, of timely reaction. And that is why the Senate is taking this very seriously. May we rise for a minute silence in honor of those who lost their lives. May the souls of our brothers and sisters who were unfortunately, in a barbaric manner, murdered in various villages in Plateau State on the eve of 2023 Christmas rest in perfect peace.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. He has recognized me. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I come under orders 41 and 42. I don't know if it will be necessary for me to read the orders. At the last plenary session we had, I had cause to call for this order, and the President said I should let it be in the next sitting. And that is why I am coming under the two orders to enable me have the privilege